This is the Pythonic Accountant, and today we're going to take another look at Google's AI Studio with Gemini 1.5 Pro. We're going to upload a couple of videos that I took of myself doing a few fake journal entries. So basically what I did was I downloaded a couple of mocked up journal entries from the internet and went through the process of entering them into these fake journal entry templates here. I purposefully made a couple of errors, one to see if it would catch it. One was I went ahead and typed in the authorized by to pretend that I was typing in who authorized it. We'll see if it'll catch that. The other thing that I did was I made it so this one didn't balance, so you had a total debit that didn't match the total credit. And then I think I also did make an error on purpose where the amount did not tie for one of the line items. I forget which one I did, but the other thing I did was I did the date. I think I mismatched the date against the invoice. So I don't know if it's going to catch any of those things. So I might give it a little bit of a sort of preemptive information to help it. But first, let's upload the video. So we're going to go upload, select the video, and it will take a few minutes to process, so I might pause the recording and come back to it. But let's see, it's this one here. And as it's uploading, what I think I'm going to think through telling it is, it doesn't always remember what debits and credits are because it doesn't really have, the reference for like what accounting is. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a head start here and say, this is a video of me performing a process to enter journal vouchers based on invoices we received. I want you to review the video and tell me if I made any errors or had any issues that may have circumvented controls. And what I'm going to say to give it a little bit of help is, please note for accounting purposes, expense lines are recorded as debits, and cash payments are and accounts payable are recorded as credits. Let's see, review and approval sign-offs should be done by different people. So I'm giving it some basic information that it should know, but this will definitely make sure that it knows. So see if it catches it when it reviews it. And the amounts entered into the JV system should match the supporting invoice. Also, dates and line item descriptions should match closely to the invoice. All right, let's see what it says and go from there. The next thing I'm going to do once it actually gives me a response is I'm going to ask it to help me write up a set of procedures to document this process. So that'll be interesting to see what it does there. All right, I'm going to pause it. We'll see you when it finishes. All right, so this failed pretty miserably. That's okay. It said I reviewed the video and did not identify any errors or issues that may have circumvented internal controls. You entered the amounts into the JV system correctly, matching the supporting invoice. Not completely correct. You also entered the dates and line item descriptions closely to the invoice. Not exactly right. Additionally, you had the journal voucher reviewed and approved by a different person. Well, I wrote the names of a different person. That doesn't mean that I had them review it, but it might not understand that. Overall, you follow the proper procedures for journaling vouchers based on invoices. Okay, so this system's not quite ready yet to do supervision and review of control gaps, but let's see if it can at least help me write up the step-by-step procedures. Okay, great. Please help me draft a set of procedures to document this process. Write them in the format of a typical SOP. And, just for fun, this is something that I like doing. Let's see, SOP best practices. from prompt engineering, one of the things that's really good is to, as long as you find the right one, let's see, accounting SOP as best practices, is to include things like this, like best tips around best practices in your prompt. So let's try this. Obviously it'd be better to find like a really legit source for this, but I think this will be fine. So let's say streamline accounting process, insurance compliant accuracy, identifying key accounting processes for standardization. This is not really what I'm looking for. So let's just see. Let's see if I can find something else here. You know what? Let's try this. We're going to go to ChatGPT and ask it to write up a guide. Let's see. Give me some bullets on best practices for an accounting SOP. And if it gives us something that I like, I'm going to take these and plug it into the Google one. Okay, yeah, this looks like it's going to do a pretty good job here. So yeah, we're going to take the output here and use that as a guide for the Google prompt. Say, okay, please help me draft a set of procedures to document this process. Rather than a format of typical SOP, here are best practices I want you to follow. If you need any additional input from me to complete this, please ask. Best practices. And then let's see what I have from ChatGPT. Okay. Copy and let's paste. And all right, let's go. So again, this might take a couple minutes. So once it starts running, I'm gonna probably pause and then come back to it. By the way, the first one took about a minute and a half. So nothing terrible, but don't want to make you sit here watching grass grow for a minute. Okay, so that took about 2 minutes. Let's take a look and see what we were able to get here. Standard operating procedure, process, entering journal vouchers based on invoices. Okay, good. Objective, to ensure accurate and consistent recording of expenses and liabilities based on received invoices while maintaining compliance with internal controls. That sounds good. Scope, this SOP applies to all employees responsible for entering journal vouchers based on invoices. So far, so good. All right, procedures. Invoice receipt and verification, receive the invoice, verify the invoice details. Yeah. Match the invoice to the corresponding purchase order receiving report if applicable. So interesting. It's not, I wouldn't say hallucinating, but it's actually inferring steps that probably should be included even if I didn't follow them in the video. So that's actually interesting. 1.4, obtain approval for payment from the authorized manager. Okay, that looks like it's probably what it's inferring from the invoice. Journal voucher entry. Open the system, enter the following information. You got date, voucher number, description, that's right. You have account number, account description, debit, account number, account description, credit, e.g. cash or accounts payable. Verify the total debits equal total credits, beautiful. Even though it didn't in the actual video I gave it, it still was able to determine that that's an important control. Review and approval, submit the voucher for review by a designated reviewer. The reviewer verifies the accuracy. Yes, the reviewer approves. They sign off. If they identify discrepancies, they return it. That sounds good. Posting and filing. Once approved, it's posted. Invoice and journal voucher are filed. Internal controls. Ooh, I like this. Segregation of duties. Yes. Matching. Yes. Authorization. Yes. Review and approval. Yes. Those are good. Additional notes. I like that. SOP should be reviewed and updated periodically. Any deviation should be documented and approved. That's good. You got references. This is not a real reference, but I think that's relevant and probably good to include. Relevant financial reporting standards and regulations, good. It even came up with a version number. This is actually pretty good. I gotta say, for a complete draft with only a short video that I uploaded and not much else to give it, this is not a bad starting point. So something to consider. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video demonstrating one of many really interesting uses of AI for accounting, specifically generative AI for accounting, and really interesting seeing use of the video upload format for Gemini 1.5 Pro. Going to continue to explore how we can use this and some of the other GenAI tools for accounting purposes. Have a good one, and we'll see you at the next one.